Okay, so this 50 Cent documentary exposed a lot of hidden skeletons about Diddy and those around them, including Kim Porter, who allegedly did not mind those freak-offs. And this has set Al B. Sure off, because not only are people questioning everything about Kim, but also because Diddy might be out in a few months. What you see right there are people drenching in baby oil after the jury reached a verdict on Diddy's case. I'm sure y'all have seen by now that Diddy was convicted of 2 counts under the Federal Mann Act for transporting people, including his girlfriends and paid male escorts for intimacy. But he was found not guilty of the more serious charges. Al B. Sure was the most vocal about how Diddy allegedly took out Kim Porter. In fact, people are questioning whether he is safe, given his last allegations against Diddy. I mean, dude's literally been on a press tour against Diddy.
One thing is, you have volunteered to testify at the trial, correct?
Not as of yet. Actually, I was subpoenaed.
Okay.
So my attorneys worked something out. So I believe when the time is right, I'm going to discuss it with my attorneys.
But you're willing to?
Oh, absolutely.
Based on reports, Al is also concerned about what all this could mean for other Diddy-related allegations, like the one about Kim Porter. Truth be told, a guilty verdict on all counts, and now this Diddy documentary would have probably added more weight to the allegation that Diddy had something to do with Kim's death. But with Diddy being found not guilty of the serious charges, people may not be as invested in the allegations, and that is what Al is scared about. Naturally, that verdict had everybody talking. A lot of people were saying this is about to set a dangerous precedent, especially for folks with money, power, and connections who already think they can get away with anything. Because let's be real, witnesses were literally on the stand admitting they'd had intercourse with Cassie while she was unconscious from substances allegedly provided by Diddy. Yet somehow, he still walked away without being hit with the more serious charges. Meanwhile, Diddy's supporters treated the courthouse steps like it was Freaknik 2.0, rubbing on baby oil, blasting music, and throwing a whole celebration the moment the verdict dropped. It was a spectacle, to say the least. Not too long ago, Al B. Sure did an interview where he basically hinted that he's convinced Diddy had something to do with Kim Porter's death. He didn't hold back either. He said he firmly believes there was foul play involved, and he was hoping Diddy would end up getting the maximum sentence for every single charge he's facing.
I posted some information that was, basically trying to save my life. And thank goodness to my ex, the wonderful Kim Porter, the late Kim Porter, who, kind of warned me all along the way to, just kind of watch your back, so on and so forth, and I didn't understand.
Al has always been pretty outspoken about how he feels regarding Kim's passing. For instance, in November 2021, Al B. claimed that in the time leading up to Kim's death, she was running from someone or something, and that he had told her to call the FBI. Then, shortly after uploading the post, Al B. edited the last part of the caption and removed any mention of the FBI, and said that Kim was running a marathon. Al had also previously remembered the moment he found out Kim had been pronounced dead by writing, "I just found this footage from the morning I learned of at Lady KP's, aka Kim Porter's death, and how it ripped the soul from my physical body. I do know very clearly that #Kimberly didn't just check out all of a sudden over pneumonia. That's some BS. Really? This is where I get in trouble?" Al B. actually tagged Diddy in the post to make sure Diddy saw how he thinks he was responsible, adding, "We just celebrated our son at Quincy's New Deal and Christmas special with at Netflix, and she was in fantastic health as well, laughing, seeing me, and at Diddy's mutual exchange at the theater." Again, in March 2024, Al insinuated that Diddy played a role in his 2022 coma, and he even said that he was working on a documentary that is going to shock the world.
We're going to be producing the Al B. Sure life story. So hold on to your britches, and you'll really understand how I ended up in a coma. You're really going to need to call Homeland Security.
Also, as soon as Kim's alleged book was released, Al B took to his Instagram to react to a screenshot of Extra's headline, "Diddy's late ex, Kim Porter, revealed his twisted secrets in alleged diary entries." And in the caption, Al B wrote, 2009 through 2018, y'all said, Al B sure has lost his mind and told to go sit down when he stated this verbatim over time. And again on the day of KP's M. Ignored by law enforcement when he shared what LKP told him out of desperation and warned him to watch his back as well. Bad things. Y'all said, please, somebody get Al some medical help. He's lost his mind. In his most recent interview, Al revealed that he's getting ready to drop a full tell-all memoir this fall titled Do You Believe Me Now?, where he says he'll finally lay out his experiences and truths, including everything involving his interactions with Diddy. He even alleged that Diddy and people around him may have played a role in the events that led to his multi-organ failure. Al didn't stop there. He claimed there was a bounty on his head and that he faced heavy pushback the first time he tried to speak out about Diddy years ago. He also confirmed that he's been subpoenaed in connection to Diddy's case and that he's absolutely willing to testify. But the part that really stood out, Al said he's focused on living in his truth now and that none of this is about marketing, attention, or trying to sell a story. It's simply about finally telling what he knows.
So do you think specifically then that Sean Diddy Combs or people affiliated with him did something to you that caused you to have multi-organ failure?
I believe this to be the case, yes. Absolutely.
You tell me, does this sound like a man who'll be safe once Diddy is out? Now that 50 Cent documentary is out and exposed more dark stuff and how Diddy was acting behind the scenes, Al is questioning the verdict because even though Diddy beat the most serious charges, the trial still included graphic DV testimony from former girlfriends. And based on everything Al has said over the years, these are the same things Kim allegedly went through. And he's hinted more than once that Diddy was involved in her death. So this verdict, it was definitely a big blow to him. Mind you, Diddy will be released in just 2 years, so you can understand why people like Al B, who face the real consequences of Diddy's actions, are mad. You've probably heard the conspiracy surrounding Kim's mysterious death. Besides the fact that Diddy allegedly bought her a whole coffin weeks before she passed, her autopsy and witness accounts just never seemed to line up. It was reported at the time that Kim died from pneumonia, but an investigative article later published by the blogger The Hollywood Street King dropped some never-before-heard details that made people seriously question whether pneumonia was really the cause, or if there was foul play. According to his sources, the story that Kim was found unresponsive by the house help was allegedly a lie crafted by Diddy. They claim she was actually discovered on her bed with red fluid on her pillowcases, and a slight trail of red fluid on the bedroom floor leading to the bathroom. And to make things worse, her body was allegedly strategically placed on the bed, seemingly to interfere with the investigation. Right after this, Ed Winter, the coroner who was initially involved in reviewing Kim's case, made comments that completely contradicted the pneumonia narrative. And that's when the conspiracy theories really took off. Online sources began circulating claims that he'd allegedly found toxins in Kim's system and believed something wasn't adding up. People started saying Diddy supposedly pulled strings to get him taken off the case and replaced with someone else. What fueled the conspiracies even more is that Ed Winter had handled some of the biggest cases in Hollywood: Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, Brittany Murphy, Paul Walker, Tom Petty, Corey Haim. So it wasn't like he didn't know his job. So when the internet heard that he had supposedly raised questions, people took it seriously. Then Ed Winter also passed away.
Do you think that Diddy Kim Porter?
Absolutely.
Why?
Because of all the videotapes, because of the book, because of all the people she gave copies of her book to, or at least chapters, because of everything that she had on him, because of the tape that she used to blackmail him into a relationship and into a raise of him being sodomized by Andre Harrell. And I am not saying that allegedly, because I heard her and Kim Moore talking about it in the booth of the bathroom while snorting at the Kit Kat Club.
Anywho, as for how Diddy feels about the verdict, his lawyers spoke to the media outside of court, and they said that Diddy was thankful and relieved that jurors saw through the overzealous and kind of crazy prosecution and did the right thing by acquitting him on the 2 most serious charges. They also said that Diddy has had a lot of time to reflect while in jail and that he is in a good place mentally. But let me know what you think is going on in Al's head after everything that has come out. Do you think Kim Porter still deserves justice? And make sure to watch this next video.